Hey guys, how's it going? August 10th, 2021. And yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick update on what's going on. Not too much as far as development wise, other than trying out some of the new features with Probuilder. It works, so that's good. I have no reason why at this point that it wouldn't work as far as going around a curve. Although I haven't tested it around a curve, I don't see why it would be an issue. Eventually, I will test it. I'd rather do it on something that is prototypical. So, what I'm gonna do this weekend is I want to get over out by Port Robinson. I'm not exactly sure where exactly I'm going to do it or whatever. I'm just going to try an area that has a curve, and also an area where I can get a really good top-down shot. Because as far as textures, I want to have a lot of textures. Two, I want to be able to create my own map textures as well. So today, for example, right now I'm just doing a lot of prep work. After I tried it out the other day, it looked good. Basically, you take an arch, you flip it on its side 90 degrees, and set the degrees of the arch, set the radius, and that's as simple as that. And it seems pretty simple. Once I get the hang of it and once I understand the parameters, I don't see it being an issue at all, really. I don't know how the textures are going to work going around a curve. They may work perfectly, they may not. That's fine. That's okay. Everything can be mathematically done. So that's a good thing. Is as far as radiuses go, the inner rail would be a shorter radius than the outside rail. So they both turn at the same time. And the inside rail, like I said, that'd be a bit of a shorter radius, but I don't know if I'm going to join. It's hard to say. I mean, prototypically, the rails they can go pretty much anywhere, and normally they're not across from each other. But I can, as far as I know, I can join these perfectly, and don't have to put the joints in, or the joints would be seamless. If that's the case, then that works for me. So, I mean, everything's fine. There's too much more report. I went on Train Sim about it, so this is probably going to be pretty quick. I mean, I can show you. I had a screenshot that I posted over on Train Sim. Let me just pop into it for a bit here, and I'll show you what it looks like. What are we in here? I think it's this build here. Just easier to show you than to talk about it. Now keep in mind, it's not painted, it's not textured or anything like that, so it doesn't look like the other rails that I had been or have been using. I'm not going to be using the straight rails either. I'm going to build my own rails from scratch. I'm going to paint the ground textures, including the ties and the ballast, and then I will build up a bit of a slope for the grades where necessary. But okay, let's get into this here. So of course that's not right on it. I just positioned it over, but this is like I said, it's not seamless, or it is at the moment, but if I do it, the reason why is you know, trying to find the exact for example here, object size read only. Object size read only. Oh, okay, so here's the positions, for example. I could probably get it in there. Now, it does not matter. This thing isn't going to hold anyways. And not to mention, it's the length is a little bit off here, or the height is actually. But that doesn't matter anyways. I'm gonna go with a more rudimentary track design. As pretty as this looks, and as prototypical as these look, and they look pretty cool, I'm going to deal more with having so this is the other thing too, is a repeating pattern for textures. I don't see where they repeat, the patterns repeat. I don't see it, which is interesting because I don't know how to do that without having a seam, unless the seam's coming at the rails, which is okay actually, if that's the case. But I don't see. Okay, I see a line there. Is that where it is? Ah, that's where it is. Yeah, you can see it. So there's the seam right there. It's not really that noticeable. So that's cool. So yeah, you can see the seam when you really look detail-wise at it. But that's their rail, so that's fine. I'm okay with this. It's nice looking. It's pretty, and that's fine. But the way I see it, what I'll end up doing, like even this is really nice looking, and I can tell you right now, the rail cars are not going to be perfect. They're not going to have every rivet, nor is you know, the engines are, you know, they're going to be as best as I can make it through all the different stuff that I can make it with, basically. I'm not going to panic over it, as long as it looks reasonably well. So what will happen is I will have the rails sit on a texture map. It's going to be built up from the ground a bit, so it will be somewhat 3D, but you know, like how this is hanging here, how that's up like that. The rail will sit on this, but if you look in something, for those of you familiar, and I'm using this as a recent example because my son noticed it right away, and he pointed it out, although I was fine with it because we noticed it and it's not a big deal. It didn't take away from the experience at all. There's plenty of things that do take away from the experience, and that is in oh man, I'm losing my brain these days. Why do I keep on calling it Freight Yard Manager for some stupid reason? It's not Freight Yard Manager, that's for sure. Train Sim World 2. So Train Sim World 2 has the ties and the ballast painted. That's what I intend to do. The rail, I am going to have it so that the actual rail sits on top of that texture. And then I'll have a head on top of this. So I'll have the rail head here, or the tread, I guess they call that. I'll have that sit on that. Everything else underneath of it will be painted. And it's not going to be curvy. It's not going to be looking, it's not going to, I don't think I'm going to worry about the angles. If I can make it work, great. As you can see, this one was using the same radius so that it kind of comes in with each other. I don't know how well these, I know these do, I have tested this before. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know if that one, do I? What's this code here? The engine code. Let me just see this for a second. I could try to connect it. Okay. Forward, back. Add force vector forward. Okay, so input, get key down, up arrow, and down arrow. Okay, so that should run. Correct. I don't know why up arrow and down arrow is not working. It was working. I know at one time I had this working. Okay. Did I move it? Did I actually move it? Is it actually doing this one? Because if it's doing this one, that's not good. Let me see. Oh, okay, this will tell me. This will tell me which one is doing. So, custom flat car. I'm just curious which one is actually using the code here. Unless I accidentally deleted it, which is possible. I don't see it. Oh well. I'm going to start that from scratch because it's been a while since I played around with all this stuff here. So I'm not exactly sure where it is. I mean, there's this cool stuff. This just came from a kid. I'd rather, I mean, it's nice and all, but, you know, once I want to start doing my own stuff, then, you know, how the hell am I going to do it? So I would rather start off from scratch, do it myself, possibly, you know, start working on my own map. Not to mention, this thing is fairly simple. I mean, it takes a little bit of getting used to. I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you how simple this is to work. Not simple, but it takes a little bit of getting... Where the hell am I? Helps if I'm in the right spot. So let me delete that for now. But say, for example, I wanted to, let's get into this here. Blah, 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 blah. No, tools. Probuilder. Am I actually playing that? No, I don't think I am. Okay, good. New shape. Okay, so that does a torus. Now, in Unity, it comes with the cube and it comes with the cylinder, I think. I don't know if it has all these settings. Height segments. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So, the way I don't know what the sprite is. If it's a typical sprite, that's interesting. Shape settings. Okay, that's weird. I don't know what that would be. Shape selector, sprite. I don't know. I'll have to read the manual on those, but it comes with staircases, which is really cool, because then you can have whether or not you have the sides built or not, just like that. The curvature, if you wanted to do a curved staircase, you could do that. I'm not going to worry too much about staircases, but I mean, they're there. If I want to put stairs to a building or something like that. Probably not, what I have in mind, let's say, but like I said, the cylinder, the radius, so I can change that. Now you can see the number of sides. So that's a pretty huge radius, but height segments. Yeah, it's pretty something that big, but once you get down to that and you have 20 sides, then and you smooth it, you take out the thing, so just hunkers it down a little bit, which is nice. It looks more. That's just a texture. That's not the. Those are easily. You can change a texture pretty easily, like on these things. So if you were to go into, let's see here. If I was to texture, I can do it with all the probe settings, the mesh. What about textures? Light UVs. I know I can play with the textures. Gonna take me a while, guys. Still gotta learn this stuff. Vertex colors. Don't know what that's for. Oh, that's the vertices, I guess. Oh, I see them. I think I see them. No, I don't. Oh, I do. Hang on a second. Or do I? Yeah. Apply. Default color palette. What's it doing? I don't know what it's doing. Reset. Okay. Color palettes. Okay, so smoothing UV editor. I don't know what that does. Import quads, import smoothing, smooth threshold. I know there's a way to do the palette and I'm missing it. Is it the mesh? Probably. Oh, I gotta add this first. Okay, so I add the component. Let's say I add this component, right? Or better yet, hang on. Let's say I delete this. Oh crap! Control Z that. I don't know what I did. Okay. Let me just add the component. No, I don't want to add the component. Forget it. Get out of there. Woo! Okay, do I have to actually create this to get it in there? Something's weird. How about I do this? How about I open this up totally again? Because I have no idea what's going on now. And the undo was not working. So shape tool, forget that. Oh, it just disappeared. Okay, was it that simple? Well, everything's back to where it was. Okay. So, yeah. So the white is, these are actually already down. So if I want to play around with this, the default material, I think that's the one. Mesh collider, that's already on. So they're automatically on, that's good. Probuilder default. Unit light probes, blend probes. Everything else is per object motion, dynamic occlusion, cooking. Material, none. Okay. I have to add the materials in somehow. Which I'm not too sure how yet, but I'll have to look into that. Ooh, hello. Oh, there's a color there. Okay. Let's just go in here for a second. Not too sure what I am having difficulty here. Default material color, I guess I can't change it because it's the Probuilder default material. I'll just have to add them later, I guess. But anyways, you can basically put it in there. Trust me on that. I know you can. I just have to look it up. It's probably very simple. I've done it before. I've done colors here, but for some reason it doesn't want to get that in there. Cooking mixed. That isn't it. I want to say it's down here, unless I'm missing something. Object Probuilder, Mesh Element, Probuilder Default. That's the materials right there. That could be it right there. Oh! Okay. Rail. There we go. Okay. Now we're getting into the stuff I wanted. So it was up there. So wherever the rail was, brown's not good. And I can grab the material from the other one and just go, okay, here, I'd like that, and I'll take that. Thank you very much. And in fact, I could probably do that. Let me just play around with that for a second. Okay, so element is brown, so I'm going to change that element. There we go. So element 0, that's what we're looking at right now. The stuff I like is at the top. Well, that stuff didn't look as good as the stuff I saw earlier. I think it looks better. I thought I saw it better before. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. I think I can get a better material than that, personally. I mean, it looks fine, but it's not really shining. It looks kind of... I want that silvery color. But I can basically get that out of my own textures and then just pull it from that. But that's okay. That's all stuff later on. I don't want to spend too much time on that. But if I was to go like that, and cast shadows, receive shadows, light probes, anchor override, so that's got a mesh, which is the rail material, which is probably the same as this. So if I go to element here, and then I go right back up to the rail material, see how they blend in? Now, of course, it doesn't look like the same because, I mean, it is what it is, but and it doesn't have the whatever properties it has on it. It looks at least more, how do you say? It looks more varied and has some randomness into it, which is good. But possibly because this isn't big enough, maybe there's not enough light, maybe there's not enough thickness, maybe there's another setting missing, probably another setting. But you see what I mean. So if I change that to rail as well, now of course there's no ties and ballast, but from a distance looking in on this, it doesn't look too bad, although the radius of course is off. But I'm probably going to do it from scratch just so that I'm understanding my my elements. I'm understanding how it works. The question's going to be is, once I have it straight, here's where it catches. I'll show you what I mean now. It doesn't do it for this. Obviously it's not on it, but if I was to show you another one of these, for example. There we go. So this is actually on it. You can see the tread. So it's got a bit of give to it, which is good. We want that. Or travel, as they call it. So that should travel in between as it's going around the curve. That just covers like about half of the head, or half of the tread by the looks of it, before it comes down. I'm having a hard time getting it to. I know it goes that way, but I can't get it underneath for some reason. Let me just look at let me look at the end profile here of the rail, and Okay. I see what that does. That's not as advanced as I thought it was. I'll check the ones at the end here. Not that one, but just to see what it looks like. So yeah, it just kind of, it looks like a geometric shape of which is interesting, but I'm just going to make my own anyways. Test out a few ideas. I have an experimental one where I can try some of these things out, see how they fit. Link it up nicely, get the right radius, because these have to be perfect radiuses for them to fit. So I'll give it a higher radius to give it as much chance as I can, and then I just do another procedure where I have it start moving the truck. I think I have an experimental one that I have. Let me just check here. Hey Bill, how's it going? So I have an experimental I'm going to check out here. Let me get out of that. Open project. So we'll go to experimental for a second. I don't know how much experimenting I did in it, but if I recall, I had things running off. Yeah, I have no idea. So I think I was just playing around with terrain in this one. Oh, I gotta put the package into every one? Really? I guess I do. So I have to install the package for every one that I do, huh? That's fine. I'll probably strip the RTS one down, get rid of all these those other objects. I can always bring in them later if I have to, but there's enough prototypical looks and everything that I have that, you know, I can get it looking right anyways. Let me just take one more look at it for a minute. We'll open the project one more time. Dispatchers, we don't want tower, no. Gotta be between these two, so. Oh, it's already open. Okay, well, that's got it. I didn't think I had two instances open, but I guess I do. Did it have tools open? I couldn't remember. Whatever. So let me just take a quick look at this. And, you know, I should be able to come up with something similar, or at least I would think. Looks pretty cool. My son was saying when he was looking at it, I was like, yeah, it doesn't really look very round. I says, none of them are. I says, they all have rounded sides to them. I says, it's an illusion. And I says the more sides you put, the more resources it takes. So, Vertex colors. What's this? I don't know what that is. Default color palette. I really don't know what that means. Oh, okay, never mind. Material editor. Oh. Well, that's neat. Well, there you go. So I can just add materials to the palette and away it goes. See how simple that gets? I'm still learning on this. Every new thing that comes up, it's constantly new stuff when you're I mean, I know about 1%. I don't even know if I know 1% of Unity. But you learn the stuff that you need and then you just go with it. New poly shape. The hell's that? Oh, I didn't want to do that. Control set that. Orientation local. I don't know what that means. Transform handle is a okay, never mind. UV editor. I don't know what that means either. Smoothing. It's got something to do with the lighting or something. But yeah, if I was to go in, oh my god, let me get rid of that thing. Can I change that? Yeah, I want to change that. I don't like that thing. Prism. Ugh. Stairs. You can have doors, total width, total height, total depth, door height, leg width, a plane, which I think they have those in Unity, so that's nothing new, but axis, width, length, width segments. I mean, I don't know if there's anything new there or what, but pipe. Cones. This is the one I did the curves on. Where the hell to go? Okay, let's change this radius to 20. I think that's it right there. There it is. So normally it positions it like that. Hello? It's having a hard time. There we go. So that's how it normally positions it. So when you do the normal arch, it would go onto arch degrees 90. Like that, or you know, I could do the whole 180 if you want, if you will. Not too sure what the end caps are. That's the stuff on the side here. End caps. Let's see. Oh yeah. So that's where it's just opened right up, right? But if you put the end caps on, then you got something there. You got a solid face to it. But then you can just add things. You can, for example, once you get something in, there's intrudes and extrudes and all kinds of other things that I was noticing. I do a horrible job at explaining it because it's so new to me. So let me just put in something here. Let's go ahead with a cube or something like that. Actually, we'll go ahead with a plane. What in the hell? Okay. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, it's on this side. Ah, okay. Oh, that's why. So you do that. And this is to plain preview. So okay, here it is down here. So you build it, right? If you like that the way it is, you build it. And there it is. Then you can export it, I guess. Oh, it recognizes it, so then you can export it. Vertex colors. I don't know what the hell that's for. Okay, that's a preset or some sort. I don't know. Whatever. Reset that. Auto lighting UVs. Don't know. I thought there was a different way to do that. I guess not. I know there's other things on here besides this. Because all these things start showing up too after a while. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. So that I can export to what? Export settings. Oh, an object. Include children. Apply transforms. Right-handed copy. Vertex colors. Texture offset scale. There's something. There's like candles or something like that, or I don't know what it is, but maybe that's the intrude and extrude handles, but I don't see them. At least I haven't yet. Let me delete that. Let's go with something else here. Gonna go with a cube. Hello. Size. There it is. Okay, orientation local, smoothing. Okay, so that's a Probuilder mesh. Shift difference. Now there's a lot of stuff there now. Rectangle intersect. What is that? That wasn't there before. When drag selecting elements, does the shift key always add to the selection? Subtract always subtract from the selection difference. Invert the selection by a selected face default. I don't know. Beats the hell out of me. Okay, so there's a difference between the shift. You have to. Ah, crap! I didn't want to do that. Well, I cannot find the ones. It's in a video someplace. I'll have to look for it again myself, so. Because eventually I want to be able to add things to it, and there's videos out there that show you how to do it. It's just I jumped right into it. I watched the video, said, oh yeah, fine. A lot of these videos, they'll go through it, and the tutorials are just like crazy, so I prefer to go into Google and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm not getting anywhere, so I'm demonstrating this horribly, but there's a lot more features here than the standard stuff. With the standard stuff, you add components in, and then you can add stuff, and you position it, and you add it. It's got a lot of weird stuff where you can just start building stuff on top of stuff. It was really interesting when I saw it. I was just like, holy crap! It's very simple. But I guess it takes a little bit to get used to. But it is a really cool tool. There's handles that come out. There's all kinds of things. But I think there's some hotkeys involved too, but I'm not too sure. I know there's intrude, like intrudes. Like you see these offsets. I don't know if that's the triggers. Flip normals. I don't see them in this menu here. Material editor, new poly shape. Oh, see, I'm doing that again. Okay, I'm going to get out of this, and I'm not saving it. Do not save. Ugh. Crazy stuff. Bottom line is, I'll figure it out. And I'm pretty happy about it so far. And the only test that I'm going to have is having I'm going to be creating my own trucks. I'm going to be creating the tracks, obviously, going to be fairly straightforward. It definitely rolls on that track that's there. I've had it work before. I just, for some reason, I'm not able to get it to work. So, but like I know as much about 3D stuff. I don't know. Fill in the adjective. But anyways, this wasn't as exciting as I was hoping it was going to be. I thought I could go into a few things. I was going to make this short originally and just go into a few things and leave it at that. But as far as the forums, I'm going to start using my forums a little bit more. I keep telling myself that. I haven't done it yet. I still rely on TrainSim. Unfortunately, I think some of my posts that I'm starting to post information about, sometimes it's easier for me to post messages. And I noticed one of my threads disappeared. I'm not too sure why that happened. It could have been accidentally deleted, moderated, or something. I don't know what happened, but I'm not going to raise a fuss over it. I did kind of mention it in another post and posted another thread about it, but I figure it was no big deal. And if there is an issue, somebody will tell me. But anyways, I don't see why there'd be an issue. It's in the general forum, and it's about trains, so. But anyways, that's all for now, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.